Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. We're continuing our college football bowl game predictions today, and since there are no games on Christmas Day, we're going to give you our 3 post-Christmas bowl games, analyze those, and predict those. And these 3 bowl games will begin a stretch of non-stop bowl games up until January 1st, and then 1 week later, the college football season will end on January 8th with the national championship game. So we're going to break down these next 3 bowl games on December 26th, and of course, we're going to predict every game after that, all the way to the national championship. So here are the 3 bowl games on December 26th, the day after Christmas. The Heart of Dallas Bowl between Utah and West Virginia, the Quick Lane Bowl between Duke and Northern Illinois, and then the Cactus Bowl between Kansas State and UCLA. All fairly good matchups. All these teams really need a win to close out the season. Mediocre teams that struggled this season had some high expectations. These games are always big for all these teams. Some of these guys have major NFL prospects that are trying to impress scouts for the last time. So it's a very intriguing matchup. We'll start up here with the Heart of Dallas Bowl between Utah and West Virginia. Now, if you've seen the news lately, we all know that the West Virginia's quarterback, Will Grier, will not be playing in this game. He broke his finger earlier in the season. Towards the end of the season, he will be out, which is obviously a big blow for the Mountaineers. They're going to have to rely on Chris Chugunov, who's 0-2 this season when he's taken the majority of the snaps or started. And that resulted in a 7-5 record for West Virginia. Will Grier did a great job. Something that Mountaineer fans can get excited about, though, is he did announce he will return for his senior season, along with star wide receiver David Sills. They will both be returning next year, which will be huge for the Mountaineers if they want to try to make a run to the Big 12 championship game. Now, another problem for West Virginia is their star running back, Justin Crawford, will be sitting out this game due to the NFL draft. He's going to hold out for the NFL draft, try to prevent injury. He's rushed for over 1,000 yards a season. When your starting quarterback's out, you usually are going to try to rely on your running back, and he's not going to be there. So that's going to be really rough for Mountaineer fans and for the team and all. But hopefully West Virginia can go in there and get the job done and put out a good performance. Now, Utah, on the other hand, they got a little bit of a quarterback situation to deal with themselves. We saw Tyler Huntley. He did not start in that season finale against Colorado that ended up getting them bowl eligible, 6-6. I did predict Utah's record correct this year, going 6-6. Troy Williams, who was actually the projected starter for the majority of the season, lost the job to Tyler Huntley. He started, I believe, 3 games there towards the end of the season, got them to that 6-6 record, did a fairly good job. So hopefully we're going to have to see who's going to start this game. Will it be Tyler Huntley? Will he be healthy enough to come in and play? And if he does play, is he going to be 100%? Or will Troy Williams go ahead and fill in? He's very experienced. We know what he's capable of. And, of course, Utah themselves has a very dynamic wide receiver in Darren Carrington, the transfer from Oregon, who has made a major impact this season for the Utes. So this will be a very fun game to watch, very interesting game to watch. I don't expect many points to be scored in this one. It's really going to, in my eyes, going to come down to defense due to the struggles on West Virginia's offense. So their defense is going to really have to step up and shut down the Utes offense. If not, it could get ugly. I like Utah in this one. It's going to be a great coaching matchup as well between Kyle Whittingham and Dana Holgorsen, but Whittingham always gets the best out of his team. They usually play well in bowl games. I like the Utes in this one to finish the season 7-6, so it's going to be a very good game, and that'll be the first game the day after Christmas. Now, the Quick Lane Bowl between Duke and Northern Illinois is another interesting game here. Duke started off the season 4-0. Look, they had a lot of promise. A team that really struggled the year before, very disappointing season the year before. Starting off 4-0, they looked primed for a very good year, maybe a 7-win, 8-win year. And then they lost 6 straight. They were 4-6 with 2 weeks left in the season. Were able to get those last 2 wins and get to 6-6, become bowl eligible. But, you know, it's kind of one of those things where you look at it and say, what could have been? Because they had a couple close losses in there that could have easily given them an 8, maybe 9-win season. But they're sitting at 6-6 right now. Very happy to be back into the postseason after missing out last year. Same thing with Northern Illinois, another team who usually makes bowl games, missed out on bowl games last year. This season they bounced back and they went 8-4. Pretty much the biggest highlight for their season, I would have to say, would be going on the road and defeating Nebraska. Now, granted, Nebraska had a very horrible year as well, but anytime a group of 5 school goes into a Power 5 school, especially on the road, and beats them, it's always a big deal. Northern Illinois is obviously not afraid of facing these Power 5 schools, so this is going to be a very intriguing matchup. Geographically, this game being held at Ford Field in Detroit, Northern Illinois should have a bigger fan base there. They should be accustomed playing at Ford Field because they play multiple MAC championship games there. Not that it's going to be a home field advantage or anything, but Northern Illinois, like I said, not afraid of playing these Power 5 schools. And it's not an odd location for them because they're very used to this location. Something you got to look out for, though, can this Northern Illinois defense shut down Duke's quarterback Daniel Jones? He's been very impressive this season. He's only a sophomore, so the future is bright for him and the Blue Devils down the road. And another thing for Duke is they get a lot of injured defensive starters back, especially around the linebacker position. They're going to have to shut down Jordan Huff, Northern Illinois' running back. He's been very dangerous this season, very explosive. If they can shut him down, I feel very confident for the Blue Devils. But if he ends up having a big game and they have trouble stopping him, this game could become very interesting, and Northern Illinois might be able to go in and pull off the upset. Right now, though, I'm going to predict the Blue Devils to win this game. David Cutcliffe always gets the best out of his teams. And Duke, desperate for a win, wanting to finish the season with a 7-6 record, especially after the year they had last year. I think they get the job done in the Quick Lane Bowl to finish 7-6. And then the final game of the night is the Cactus Bowl between Kansas State and UCLA. If you remember, this is a rematch of the 2014 Alamo Bowl, which UCLA won 40-35. They jumped out to a 31-6 lead. Kansas State battled back, but were not able to get the job done. Recently, as we all know, UCLA fired their head coach Jim Mora, and then right after that went in and hired Chip Kelly, a great hire. He's back in the Pac-12 after a stint at Oregon and then a couple stops in the NFL. So the future is very bright for the Bruins here. This was obviously not the season they wanted, going 6-6. I think myself, I had them going 9-3, especially led by a great quarterback in Josh Rosen, who will more likely be a first-round draft pick. The question will be, will he play in this game? He's been battling injuries, and is there the potential that he could sit out this game in fear of getting hurt? We know he's going to get drafted fairly high, but this is his last chance to impress scouts. I mean, he could always stick around another year, but I think the initial indication is that he more than likely will go into the NFL draft. I don't expect him to stick around next year, but we never know. This is going to be a big game for him if he decides to play. Kansas State, though, is a very dynamic quarterback of their own, and Skylar Thompson. He's their third quarterback they've used this season, but he's very dynamic, dual-threat quarterback, has done a great job for Kansas State, getting them to that 7-5 record. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this goes. Right now, I'm going to pick Kansas State to win this game, not only because of Skylar Thompson and what he's been doing, but mostly it's because of what's been going on with UCLA. They lost their head coach in Jim Mora. Of course, they're very excited to have Chip Kelly coming in next year. But, you know, anytime you lose your head coach, it kind of hurts those players. And obviously the key will be Josh Rosen. If Kansas State's defense shuts him down, they're definitely going to get the win. If he doesn't play, I think Kansas State gets the win. It's really going to come down to him. He is the difference maker in this game. I do expect him to have a big day, though, if he does play in this game, because it's his last chance to impress NFL scouts, assuming he goes pro. So this will be a very intriguing matchup, a very fun matchup to watch. Probably the best game of the day, the Cactus Bowl. But I'm predicting Kansas State to win this one with Bill Snyder, and they're going to get to 8 wins. So should be a very fun day of college football, December 26th, the day after Christmas. So make sure you keep your eye out for these 3 games and keep your eye out for more bowl prediction videos as we continue on through this season. Thank you for watching. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe, and Merry Christmas. We'll see you next time on The Gridiron Expert.